I moved to Willow Glen for peace, flat out. After 20 years of city noise, bad landlords, and endless parking tickets, I wanted space to breathe. So I bought a small fixer-upper with a giant backyard. It had charm. It needed love. I had time. My closest neighbor? Drama lady. That's not what she introduced herself as, of course. No, she was Clarissa Downing, self-proclaimed community watchdog. Mid-40s, crisp blonde bob, and a wardrobe of trench coats like she was always on her way to testify in court. "You're new," she'd said, arms crossed, eyes scanning my moving boxes like they were illegal imports. "I hope you plan on keeping things neat. This neighborhood is very particular." It took exactly 3 days before the note started. Day 3. "Your trash cans are an eyesore. Please remove them from view." Day 5. "Your dog barked for 17 minutes straight. We don't tolerate noise here." Day 8. "Your lawn height exceeds HOA regulation." The kicker? Willow Glen doesn't even have an HOA, but I didn't argue. I was too tired from work, too busy sanding cabinets. My dog, Harvey, was a 12-year-old Labrador with arthritis. He barely even barked. Still, I let it go. Until one morning I opened my front door and found 3 police cruisers in my driveway. "Are you Ethan Wells?" one of them asked. "You? Yeah?" "We received a report of suspicious activity. Narcotics, possibly trafficking." I nearly laughed. "You're kidding." They weren't. They showed me the anonymous tip. Said a woman nearby claimed I was receiving large shipments of chemical-smelling crates, moving them late at night. That my backyard was off-limits and suspiciously covered by tarps. I stared in disbelief. The crates? Those were gardening supplies, compost, mulch. One was a greenhouse tent kit, but the police still did a search, full perimeter check. They were courteous but thorough. And as they looked, I saw her, Clarissa, standing on her porch with her arms folded, watching like a hawk, smirking. That's when I knew this wasn't paranoia. It was targeted. 2 hours later, I was cleared. The lead officer came back with a sigh. "Sorry, Mr. Wells. Everything checks out." Someone clearly made a false report. I nodded. "Mind if I ask your name?" He pulled off his sunglasses, and I blinked. "Tyler?" He smiled. "Ethan?" We both burst out laughing. I hadn't seen him since we were 16. Summer camp. We used to race canoes and prank the cafeteria staff together. "What the hell, man?" I said. "I didn't know you became a cop." "Didn't know you moved here," he replied. "But now I'm real glad I came." He leaned in, voice low. "I've dealt with Clarissa before. You're not the first." Tyler explained. Clarissa had filed 4 similar anonymous tips in the past year. 2 neighbors moved away just to avoid her harassment. One elderly couple had to get legal help after she accused them of running an illegal petting zoo. They had 2 goats. "She plays dirty," he warned. "Thinks she owns the street." But this time, Tyler wasn't letting it slide. He went back to his cruiser, made a few calls, and returned with a quiet grin. "You said your security cameras work, right?" "Always recording," I said. "Good. Save that footage. We're going to see if we can connect the report to her IP. False police reports are serious business." 3 days passed. Clarissa's porch stared at me every morning like a vulture. She acted like nothing had happened. In fact, she seemed happier. But then? Justice. That Friday, around 2 p.m., a black unmarked car rolled up in front of Clarissa's home. Tyler stepped out, this time in full uniform. Clarissa came out, confused, probably expecting someone else to be arrested. Tyler handed her a folder. She opened it and instantly turned red. Within minutes, Clarissa was sitting in the back of the cruiser, arms crossed. Eyes wild. Turns out Tyler had traced the IP. The fake tip was sent from her guest network. The description she gave matched the layout of my property exactly, including things you couldn't see from the street, and worse, I had doorbell cam footage of her walking across my driveway the night before the police search, taking pictures, trespassing. She was charged with filing a false police report, trespassing, and misuse of emergency services. A week later, I was out watering my garden when a different neighbor walked up. "Hey, Ethan," she said. "Just wanted to say thank you. Most of us have been dealing with her nonsense for years. You stood your ground." More neighbors waved over the fence. Even the mailman gave me a thumbs up. Clarissa (S) house sat quiet. Curtains drawn. I heard she was trying to sell it now. And me? I finally had the peace I came here for. But I did buy a second security camera, just in case.